Hello, colleagues, and welcome to the last episode of our video chat with the FIPWiSE Rising Stars. My name is Aysu Selçuk. I am Education and Primary Healthcare Policies Specialist at FIP. I am also a woman in science and education with my lecturer role in academia in Turkey. I am thrilled to be hosting this video chat with four of our inspirational and brilliant FIPWiSE Rising Stars of 2022. FIPWiSE Rising Stars list recognizes exceptional women in pharmaceutical sciences and pharmacy education, selected by a FIPWiSE panel based on their achievements, innovations, and significant impacts they made. Our group includes excellent educators and scientists today. I am sure our audiences is also excited to know you better. And how about starting with a brief round of introductions? So we may start with Anastasia first.
Hi, thank you so much. And hello, colleagues. My name is Anastasia Shiamptanis, and I'm currently the Registrar and CEO of the New Brunswick College of Pharmacists, which is the regulatory body for pharmacists, pharmacy technicians, and pharmacies. I'm also a preceptor for students in the Doctor of Pharmacy programs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anastasia. How about Jay? Could you tell us about yourself?
Definitely. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to join you today. My name is Johan. I'm currently a senior lecturer with the National University of Singapore Department of Pharmacy. And in my current role, I teach pharmacotherapy and pharmacy professional skills to our undergraduate and postgraduate pharmacy students.
Okay, thank you, Jay. In this video chat, I will be asking you a few questions and will be hoping to get answers from you all. So my first question is, what does it mean to you to be recognized as one of the 2022 FIPWiSE Rising Stars? Can you tell, Anastasia?
Sure, thank you. Well, first of all, it was quite a pleasant surprise. It was very humbling and certainly an honor to be recognized with these other exceptional leaders in the profession. And so really patient safety has always driven me, and being recognized for my contributions with that passion as my guiding light means a lot, because it also tells me that that passion is shared by others. And so it has quite the significance for me.
Okay, thank you. How about Jay?
Yeah, it's definitely a great honor, and I'm very humbled to be recognized by FIP for this great honor. I've been so impressed reading about the outstanding achievements in pharmacy practice, education, and research by all the FIP Rising Stars this year, and I'm really proud to be one of them. I first like to thank FIP for this recognition, and also Professor Christina Chai from the National University of Singapore for her nomination.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the next question. Could you let us know what was your proudest and most challenging moment in your career that drew you where you are now? Yes, Anastasia, we can again start with you for the question.
Great, thank you. Well, I will provide a highlight and also a challenge. I know sometimes they might be the same, but I'm going to just briefly describe both. So in terms of a highlight, for me, it was leading and implementing a medication safety program across 4,500 pharmacies in Ontario. And so that the program involves reporting on medication safety incidents and near misses to learn from them and to make improvements in practice. And the goal overall is to reduce preventable harm to patients by learning and by continuous quality improvement. And so after the launch, while visiting some pharmacies, I actually heard firsthand some of the improvements that were made because they were able to look at the data and information and learn from it really as a team. And so that was the very intent of the program. And so if we're able to prevent harm to any patient, that's a success. In terms of a challenge, during my career, there was a period that I worked in a challenging environment that really stemmed from a leader's behavior towards staff. And this taught me two major lessons. First, it taught me what leader I do not want to be, which is also important as I felt and observed the impact that can have on individuals. Sometimes you need to know what you don't want to be. Second, it taught me that my values never waver. Even in that situation, my values of empathy and humility really guided me through that and ultimately made me stronger. So for me, it was an opportunity of growth.
Yeah. Thank you, Anastasia. Yes, sometimes challenges also teach us who shouldn't be, right? I agree with you. So how about Jay? Could you tell your proudest and most challenging moments?
Sure, definitely. I think this is a tough question because there have been many challenges in my career. The most challenging moment I would say is in fact during residency training, which has been more than 10 years from now at the University of Chicago. I think those were very challenging and yet transformative years of my life. So in my program back then, we were required to do 24 hours in-house on-call program where we respond to all medical emergencies and drug information inquiries. And I think to this day, I still recall the case of massive hemorrhage in the operation room, the patient with the cardiac arrest and intracranial hemorrhage that we unfortunately did not manage to resuscitate. And the drug information question that I get at 3 o'clock in the morning that I have no idea how to answer. And I think all these experiences not only trained my pharmacotherapy knowledge base and patient care skills, I think more importantly, they taught me how to remain cool and calm and make sound decisions even under stressful situations, how to work with very little sleep, how to manage time, and also when to ask for help. And I think these are very valuable skills and attributes that continue to serve me well throughout my career. Well, for my proudest moment, I think I can recall more recently, that would be implementing a new integrated curriculum at the National University of Singapore that went live in August of 2020. I think 2020 was a challenging year for everyone around the world for reasons that we can all relate to. And trying to implement a major curriculum revision during that time was particularly challenging. And I think I benefited from the time management skills, the skills that I have in collaboration and the resilience that I have built throughout my education and training in order to see through that implementation successfully.
Okay. Thank you, Jay. Yes, COVID-19 has also a big challenge for all educators, and we managed, I think in the end, we managed successfully, and also we learn how to use digital technologies in our lectures. I think before COVID-19, it was very difficult to convince seniors to use new technologies, but with this, I think with COVID-19, we are able to use more technologies in our lectures. Thank you. So based on your sharings, I understand that there is no career without challenges. There is no successful career path. But I think for us as a learning point, we must know how to manage these challenges, and all challenges must be a learning point for ourselves. Okay, let's move on. My next question. What would change if we achieve gender equality in your field, and what would it lead to? Again, let's start with Anastasia first. Yes,
Thank
Anastasia.
Well, during my education and career, I've been fortunate to be in an environment that embraces gender equality. And in fact, Ron Goose was the colleague from Manitoba that nominated me. So that was quite humbling to just be nominated by a man for this award. And so in the field, that means that you're able to nurture and grow the development of other leaders. And it is an honor to be recognized by FIP because we know that's not the case around the globe. So really important to be inspiration to other leaders out there. So really appreciative of this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anastasia. How about you, Jay?
Yeah, I think the topic of gender equity is particularly relevant to pharmacy because we are a female majority profession, I think, in most places around the world. And I echo Anastasia. I think I'm equally fortunate to be trained and to practice in environments where I think gender equity has personally never been an issue for me. And I believe that all pharmacists, I think regardless of gender, should be inspired and given the opportunities to dream big and pursue their passion. I think our profession offers so many different opportunities and diverse career paths, both patient care and non-patient care. And I certainly would like to see that everyone, especially those in training, have the maximum opportunities possible to explore what is best and most inspiring for them in the future.
Okay, thank you all. Yes, I agree. Most of the healthcare professionals are women, and sometimes we see inequalities, especially for the leadership or career development, but also we have many opportunities to improve ourselves and also live in a gender equal environment. Yeah, this is also very important. And also with our rising stars, we believe they are also support us for gender equality in pharmacy field. Okay, let's move on the next question. So my question is, how does your next 5 or 10 years look like? Would you like to be achieved in your field by then? What would you like to achieve? Can you tell us, Anastasia?
Sure, thank you. Well, I would like to continue on the trajectory of aligning scope of practice for healthcare professionals with patient care needs. So we're able to improve access to care and ensure patients have the type of care from the healthcare professional when they need it, where they need it as well. And also address workplace wellness issues. So we know that burnout and stress are occurring, and really what can we do to learn more about it and understand how we might be able to have an impact there. In terms of what I would like to be achieved by the field, would really like for pharmacists and pharmacy technicians really around the globe to have a framework in place that fully utilizes their education and training. We have excellent educational institutions so that they can be more integrated in the healthcare system and the healthcare team and all practice settings. We know that pharmacists and pharmacy technicians are key contributors to health wherever they practice. And that's why I'm especially proud to be at the FIP table, because that has a global and international voice.
Okay, thank you, Anastasia. How about you, Jie? What would you like to be achieved in your field, or in the 5 or 10 years? What will be your career look like? Could you tell us?
Yeah, I see myself advancing in my role as a clinical educator. I hope to maintain a clinical practice to be able to teach pharmacy students. And besides designing and implementing curriculum and educational interventions, I would most importantly like to assess and evaluate the impact of my curriculum, of my program on students' learning as well. And I will be also actively pursuing the scholarship of teaching and learning and generating better quality evidence that guide our pedagogical approaches in education, and be able to share that with my colleagues around the world.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Jie. Actually, I see a lot of, I hear a lot of great sharings, and I am really looking forward to see your future achievements. And also, as FIP, we are also very welcome to share your future achievements as well from today onwards. Thank you so much. Yes, let's move on to the next question. So the question is for pharmacy and or pharmaceutical students. Who would like to follow your career steps and become a rising stars like yourself? What would be the one advice you can offer them? So as educators and as a rising stars, I think you can a lot to share with young pharmacists or young generation pharmacy or pharmaceutical science students. So we would like to hear your advices. Thank you. Let's start with the Anastasia again.
Sure, thank you. So my advice would be to be reflective and to focus on your leadership competencies. So in terms of pedagogical education, that's certainly important to get the education and skills, and really to think about what your values are and how you are going to present them and how you are going to embrace them and let them guide your decision making, let them guide your interactions with others. So really think about and reflect on what are your key values, what are elements and aspects that you just wouldn't be able to compromise, and to really have a mentor. Mentorship is something important, and I know that maybe not always easy to find a mentor, but once you find somebody, or you think that there's someone that aligns with your values and your goals and aspirations, is really lean into that and really ask some important questions and have discussions and really be open to learning. Because as we mentioned before, there's always challenges that may be stumbling blocks, but that does not prevent us from going on our journey. We think about a marathon, and that's not easy. And we think about jumping hurdles. We need to jump them to get to the finish line. And so certainly that would be some of my advice.
Okay, thank you, Anastasia. How about you, Je? What would you like to advise for younger generations, especially pharmacy and pharmaceutical science students?
Yeah, I would say be brave and have an open mind and never say no. I think when I reflect on my own career trajectory so far, most of the challenging and yet rewarding times have been when I've taken on new challenges, I've made changes or major transitions in my career paths. So I would like to encourage all my students, my learners, and those in training to have an open mindset as well, and be brave to explore new opportunities. I certainly echo Anastasia, being open to learning is important. But at the same time, I think being open to where you can have an impact, open to the various opportunities where you can contribute as a pharmacist, I think would be equally important for building new skills and opening up new doors.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Je. So if I may wrap up all the advices, so I want to highlight and wrap up some of the things like being reflective, having some leadership competencies, and determining your values, and also being open-minded and open for new opportunities, new adventures, maybe I can say, and never say no, and also have a good values to do something in your career path. I think I can wrap up all the things in a few words. Thank you all. I hope your advices will be listened for someone, and she will be the next rising stars. Thanks to your advices. We will see in the future, I hope. Okay, let's move on my final question. So it is, do you have or did you have a woman in your life that influences who you are today or in your being a rising star? So I am asking a woman because if a woman can influence someone to be a rising star, I think she is also a rising star. But you can also give a man name if you are influenced by him. So all answers are welcome. But I also want to ask a woman. Okay, let's start again with Anastasia. Would you like to answer the question?
Sure, and absolutely. I've been fortunate to have an excellent mentor, and she is a star, Anne Resnick. And I've had the opportunity to have so many philosophical conversations, and we could discuss and debate any issue with her. And it was just critical to have an environment where really you can just talk about anything and learn and have the trust and confidence in that person. And it's also important to be offered stretch goal opportunities that maybe you wouldn't see yourself in, but somebody sees the potential in you and they allow you to go there and grow. And so as a preceptor now to pharmacy students, I make sure to expose them to different situations so that they're learning and building those leadership competencies that we talked about.
Thank you, Anastasia. Let's continue with Jie. Would you like to also tell us about a woman or a man who influences you to be a rising star today?
Yes, if I were to identify a woman who has been most influential in my life to where I am today, I would say that would be my mom. I think she's really the defining person in my life. And I consider myself very fortunate to grow up with her and both parents who value education, who worked hard and taught me how to work hard, who built her own career and showed me how I can achieve the same, and having the wisdom to guide me along the way.
Yes, I also believe that although we have a rising star list, but rising stars also covered with other rising stars, maybe they haven't recognized yet, but I believe who influence someone to be better, to do more, and to influence others are all rising stars. And it is a bit also a little bit an emotional question. So I also thank you all for answering this question. Thank you. So now we are coming to the end of our video chat, and this is the last episode of our FIPWiSE Rising Stars video chat. And thank you again. Thank you so much, all of you, for taking the time to chat with me today. And I am definitely sure that our FIPWiSE community will enjoy watching your career grow and rise. To those who are listening to this chat, we strongly encourage you to apply FIPWiSE Rising Stars, or you can suggest your colleagues next year. You can be the one, and thank you.